Oh man, so I've been like just putting in some serious work on Fallen Order lately, and
Mm.
man, what a fun fucking game! Like I am thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know how much more I have to go, but the pacing of this game feels very much like a Star Wars movie. Um, and really, if you stop and think about it, the story is identical to the Star Wars films too. There's there's not going to be a lot of room for surprise. You know, if you've seen any of the Star Wars films, you get a handle for what's going on. You have a Jedi. He's trying to stop the evil empire. There's a moment where he's encountered by the dark side. He has to go through a mental trial and tribulation, and I'm sure ultimately he'll probably come out on top. Although I haven't quite gotten to that part yet.
Hmm.
And so I'm thinking I'm probably about anywhere from halfway to 2/3 through the game.
Okay.
Just ballpark guess. And Saikuro just asked me what part I'm on, and I want to be vague because I know Will is planning on playing this game next. So I'll just say that
Yes.
I am on the ice planet, and I'll leave it at that because I think that's not really much of a spoiler. You have different worlds that you're going to, and each world has very distinct feeling, very distinct vibe to it, and just the environment and the sounds that you hear are just, I talked about it last week. It just feels wholly like part of the Star Wars universe. Even like when your ship is landing and it does that horizontal wipe.
Hmm.
Where you go from one scene to the next, like that is just classic George Lucas, and this has all those minor details that you don't really, when you're watching the movies, you don't think about it, but it's like it's part of what makes that thing special. So just a tremendous game, challenging. It is a very challenging game, but not absurdly so. There's been one boss battle that I've had quite a bit of trouble with that I finally cleared, and I'm not gonna lie, when I finished it, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Getting all excited and stuff.
Hulk Hogan it.
Yeah, totally, man. And like it was just like it was one of those bosses that um I like struggled with. Like I was really, really having a hard time, and I would fire it up. I'd play for a couple, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or something. Get frustrated, turn it off, play something else. I'd come back to it the next day, wash, rinse, repeat. I must have tried like 5 or 6 nights before I finally cleared this boss. So I fucking earned it. I earned that shit,
Hell
and
yeah, brother.
and I'm proud of that, because let's face facts, I suck at video games. So,
Same.
you know, but the game doesn't like. I never once felt punished, like, and I think that's important, because a game should like try and, I think if you're going to be like going through a difficult part, I think the game should teach you, and give you an idea of what you've done wrong, whether it's maybe not memorizing a pattern, maybe it's not blocking enough, maybe it's not using your powers to your full advantage. Whatever the case is, I don't think a game should ever punish you for failure. And I don't feel that this game truly does, but it does make you work for it. And I
Mm.
appreciate that. Um, but yeah, man, like I'm really enjoying this, and like I know the game didn't come out in 2020, but so far this has been like one of the best games I've played this year. Um,
That's pretty powerful.
yeah, and it's just fun. It's just fun, you know. Um,
That's what we need right now. More
yeah,
fun games. I was thinking about it when I had finished The Last Guardian, because it wasn't a fun game.
right.
You're experiencing a story through gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And I really actually had a strong craving for Metal Gear Rising and Bayonetta and Vanquish and all these like high octane action games because they're just more gamey, they're more arcade-ish,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's something I'm craving. So I think Fallen Order is going to be a nice little fit.
Yeah, I really think you're going to enjoy it, especially with your love for those types of games. And this is something that I think we wanted to kind of discuss as well too, because there's been a lot of chatter in our Discord room about the game being a quote unquote Souls-like.
Mm.
And, everybody that mentions that immediately is like, well, Drew, if you like Fallen Order, you're going to love Dark Souls. And the answer,
Launchpad.
you like my segue there, right?
Alley-oop, layup, pass you the ball.
Yeah. No, I won't. I'm not going to like Dark Souls. Like, let's just fucking get this out of the way, guys. Like,
oh my God, that was the best answer ever. No, I won't.
Like, I've played it. All right. Now, I admit I did not play a lot of it, but I played enough of it to know that I don't want any part of it.
Mm.
And that's it. Like, I don't like that kind of setting. I don't like that style of like I don't think I didn't like the game. Just
no,
flat
completely
out,
fair.
But really it boils, like, I think the biggest part of what I didn't like about it is the setting. Like, I don't like medieval. I really don't. And like, there are exceptions where I'll kind of dip my toes into that every now and then. Like, there's a game on Game Pass that I just started playing called Yes Your Grace, I think it was. But it's like a kingdom management game. It's not like a fucking fight the dragons game, right? and like that's not what I'm into. Like, I grew up in a household where like my mom was like super into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then
fantasy,
and like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I never was. And then I finally think like I'm starting to get away with it. And then I, from it. And then I start dating a girl who's like completely into it. And like, she's going to the Renaissance fairs and shit.
Oh,
well,
God.
that was a disaster. We broke up. And then when finally I stopped seeing this girl, and my mom's like, I think I'm going to start doing Renaissance fairs. I'm like,
oh my God.
So for like the first 26 years of my life, I couldn't get away from this shit. And like, I want to be in
fantasy.
I want to be in a spaceship. Like, just